I would like it to be like a therapy session, to look like a therapy session. I had this idea to start a channel for years. I mean, like 5, maybe even more. You know how sometimes people talk about all the things they're going to do, in the end to do absolutely none of them? Yeah, I might come across like that, but believe me, I genuinely needed that time. I'm not exactly perfect material to be on camera or having an audience. Every time I film myself, I'm shaking like Chihuahua on North Pole. Oh, Chihuahua. Slowly, I got used to the idea, and I tried to film bits here and there, but never stitch it in the full video. Eventually, I realized that what I needed is space. And I don't say that one can't film in small flat, but I couldn't. Clutter seeped into my head. Then came the prospect of having a house, although soon turned out to be not so soon, and I gave up filming altogether until that was sorted. We moved in, the renovation house began. I tried to capture some of it, but frankly, survival took over cinematography. It's taken me a very long time to be where I am now. And you know what? I see thousands of reasons why it couldn't happen before. And I make peace with all of them. Maybe because of lack of mirrors growing up, I wasn't really aware how I looked. It sounds bizarre, but I didn't know how I move, what my facial expressions were. You know, all that little gestures? I wasn't one of these kids immortalized in homemade videos. No birthday films or just parents excited by cameras. There were photos, of course, but it wasn't enough to sync the idea of myself and the image. And truth to be told, I'm not the one who craves the spotlight. Yes, I would like to be heard and understood, but I won't make people to do that. Usually, I will just step back and let the noisy ones to get on with it. Being on camera terrified me, still terrifies. And not because I'm worried about how I look, but because I have to be out there. I remember once I was invited on a barbecue party on a boat, and there were people with whom I worked before or organized events before. Some of them I called my friends. I stood up to say a few words before leaving. I rehearsed it in my brain, nice and simple, but when their eyes turned on me, my brain promptly served me a bunch of fancy words that I couldn't pronounce or haven't planned yet. I froze mid-sentence, and this is exactly how I feel in front of the camera. Hello. You came to support me. Oh, what a nice kitty. Of course, show everyone my bum. And then I thought, right. I'm not the smoothest communicator under the pressure. Even camera's cold, blank stare has the same unnerving effect as human eyes. And I thought, okay, maybe I should make a couple of test videos, and if I will be brave enough, I will show them to my friends. Which I did, and to be honest, first 2 or 3 were ghastly. The first one, I haven't planned at all. I just talked about whatever comes into my head. The second and third, I wrote a script and I used prompt, but I sound so monotonous, so fake, I just gave up. I have huge respect for people who can work with teleprompter and sound human. It's real skill. Maybe one day I will be there. But when I wrote a script, I loved it. I always enjoyed writing letters, messages, you name it. And it just gives me time to think through what I want to say and how I want to say it. Hello, again. To untangle my thoughts properly. Aww. And centuries ago, I was studying lingual rhetoric at university, and I wasn't bad at it at all. In the end, that became my solution. I write a script, I read it for 2-3 days or maybe a week before filming, and I would try to remember as best as I can. But of course, I will forget better too. And I think the true mastership is to allow yourself to improvise. I hope that eventually I will be confident enough just to go with the flow. Although, you might have noticed that English isn't my native language, and yes, it makes things difficult to me. But still, silver lining is I can learn new words and new phrases and slot them in my everyday speech. Free education, courtesy of YouTube. Ooh, meta. Yeah, editing can do wonders, but when I started, oh my gosh, it was so bad. It looked like this. Well, I see the chaotic style of cutting and editing in many videos, and it makes me feel better about myself. But I do my best to try to avoid it. Thanks to editing, I might come across as a relatively confident person, but don't be fooled. Not so long ago, I showed one of my videos to my new acquired friend, and while we were watching it together, I had full-blown dissociative moment. I looked at myself and I couldn't recognize that's me. Miracle of editing, really. Back at university, I dabbed a bit with After Effects, so timelines and frames are not entirely alien to me. But real editing, telling the story through pacing and shots, this is art. And I hope that I will be able to learn it a bit. My gear is basic as it gets. One camera, hence the questionable image quality, sorry about that. 2 microphones, one beak, one lapel, one tripod, and a studio light that was technically bought for renovation work, not filming. I'll put Amazon link in the description. Ooh, I'm a proper influencer now. Oh no. And yes, when you see this, it doesn't mean that I have 2 cameras. It means that filming takes much more time. You've probably heard music that I use on many other YouTube channels. Oh well, it's not the highest quality music, but I love old songs. The cheery, upbeat tempo that makes you believe everything is possible, and I need this feeling. Also, because it's so old, it's royalty free, and YouTube doesn't cross with me. But I promise I will invest in the future. My big dream, my stubborn dream, apart from castle, is to encourage people to try more, to explore more. When I think back to my younger self, I remember how hungry I was to do something, anything with my hands. But at that time, there weren't many options, for me at least. Friendship bracelets, if you're lucky, or maybe knitting, if you're really lucky. And where can I share all this, if not through YouTube? Blogs are kind of relic, shorts, stories, TikTok are lively enough, but they don't have the same depth as long-form Rumble. I've learned that I thrive when I can set my own pace and be focused on creative short-term projects where I can give my all. YouTube gives me this flexibility and allows me to play with my strengths. And at the same time, sharing the ideas that genuinely excite me. And here's a tricky bit. I don't really fit in the mold that capitalism had planned for me. I tried offices, I tried tick all the boxes, I did my best in impersonalization of functional adult. But I had to admit in the end, I can't control the system, not alone at least. And the system doesn't do the great job running itself, isn't it? So, okay, I can't control the system, I can't control the others, but I can control myself and my approach. Maybe I could work okay-ish, but the damage will show somewhere else, in things in life that actually matter for me, sharing knowledge, creating value, connecting with others. Well, I hope that little sneak peek into my journey has been helpful to you. It's not about YouTube really, it's about your passion, it's about finding it and following it. Whenever it's something small like picking up a new hobby or something big like stepping up into a new profession, if it makes you happy, if it doesn't hurt anyone, and if it's true to your values, then I'm very glad that I shared a bit of my story with you. And of course, I wouldn't be here without my friends, my loyal guinea pigs. They supported me, they encouraged me, they kept me grounded, they believed in me when even I didn't believe in myself. So thank you very much. Cheers! Before I let... Friendship blade. But